finally. No.
Good morning,
Like
Lord.
Wake up, sleepyhead.
Rise and shine.
I need some coffee.
All right, everyone, grab your comics and let's get ready for the show.
Marion, don't look at it. Shut your eyes, Marion. Don't look at it no matter what happens. Don't look, Marion! Keep your eyes shut!
And I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold, a white horse.
Ladies and gentlemen, the doomsday clock for Black Panther has finally arrived. Listen, only thing I can say is thank God that this book did not arrive 2 years ago. Or any time within the probably that little 3-year window. 4 years. This year, this is gonna be okay. But if it would have arrived the last couple of years prior to this year, since T'Challa's death, bro, it would have been riots in the street, bro. Black Lives Matter riots. Oh my God. The amount of noise these jokers would have been making for this and saying how of a atrocity this was. Look, I'll say this, man. You just got your spoiler. The book is in comic book shops. I'm on the East Coast. At 10 o'clock, I will be looking at my boss saying, "Hey, listen, I got to run somewhere real quick. I'll be right back. I'm going to go to my comic book shop and I'm going to pick it up." Now, I got some more paneling. And we're going to get into this comic book. Some of you guys that are casuals or that don't really read comic books like that, and you're just here just to kind of see what's going on. Listen, a couple of years ago, 2016, there was this guy that was a king of the Sovereign Nation, and he dropped in the MCU, and the world was excited. But in 2018, the world went crazy. The black comic book superhero pro-black world went crazy. You had a lot of Kickstarters get kicked out, pushed out because of this. Everybody, it was cool. Everybody wanted to be a part of the energy. Black folks were mad because of police brutality, the racism, and here out of nowhere comes this black king. It was a super fantasy that a lot of geek fanboys could rally behind. I think it's great. It's awesome. I was there. I went. And he died, and the actor died, and now you have some weird things going on. Just like a week ago, we also learned that the video game, which everybody was upset about from the jump, because apparently you could play as different versions of Black Panther, and Black Panther was seemingly going to be killed off, or at least a lot of people thought he was. Well, that game got canceled in the company, EA. I mean, I don't want to say EA, but the company, I can't think of their name right now. Maybe it is. No, it's not EA. I can't think of the name. They shut down, and now there's rumors that the game didn't move fast enough, and it was so many people are spreading lies and rumors. So I won't get into that, but I will say that the game is canceled. The Black Panther game, not the retro Azari Black Panther, the light-skinned Black Panther that everybody got upset about a couple months ago, but the actual Black Panther game where you can Shuri, Killmonger, allegedly you can play different versions of him in battle, I guess, for the throne. That game got canceled, And so that was a blow because some people were kind of looking forward to it. And now you have I mean, listen, after reviewing the details that I know about this comic book that's dropping, it's a 6-issue run. Joe Quesada and Christopher Priest, the guy that brought, that a lot of fanboys started with Black Panther on Priest. I know personally a lot of fanboys who don't even acknowledge Don McGregor or Kirby. They'll acknowledge FF52, but they won't get into the mythos of the Priest run. They won't even talk about it. They don't care. It's not the glamorous T'Challa, so they'll only really stick with primarily Priest, which I find crazy because Priest did a lot of things in that run that was very, very, I don't want to say silly, but it stretched him. It really stretched T'Challa out. You had a happy pants Black Panther. You had some scenes where it was parody, but Black Panther was dressed up like Batman, and the white guy that was Everett who was with it was dressed up like Robin. There was a lot of silly stuff that was going on, but he did a lot of cool world building. I mean, you can't take it away. Now, seemingly, this is 616. Maybe it's in the future. Maybe it's in some type of, I don't know, maybe it's a dream. But here is what we know so far. Some people have got their hands on an actual copy by the time that they will see this video. And I'll say this, man. The World to Come is a comic book that's dropping today. I'm speculating that the book probably by tomorrow won't be there in a lot of your bigger shops. I think maybe if they order tons of them and the word hasn't gotten out, but the mere fact that T'Challa, here's the whole, okay, where are you going? The whole fact that T'Challa has a hidden son, a secret son, that is white or biracial. Let's keep it a buck because if it's his son, he's biracial. But his son, and I got a picture of his son, looks like this. Okay. He's got the straight hair. He doesn't look like Obama. He ain't Obama biracial. He has a straight hair. And if you are upset that I am spoiling this, I've already given you a spoiler warning. It was on the thumbnail. It was on the video before we even got started. So shame on you for not paying attention. So basically, this is what happens. Apparently, you're fighting, T'Challa has to battle for the throne, and they do battle. And T'Challa is kicking this guy's ass. But the guy comes back, and he beats T'Challa. And it is discovered at the last panel that it is actually his son, and he looks white. Now, the rumor was Nikki Adams, which was in the Hudlin run, which was created out of the Hudlin run, was the white girl. Some of you guys who read comics, you know that they did a flashback to where he was in college. He was dating this white girl. Some have speculated that his mother is actually Nikki Adams, the white girl. And before we get on this, white people this, white people that, some of you guys are biracial. Some of you guys are got uncles. Some of your dads, your moms are white. So we're not going to get into the whole interracial, white people this. Well, at least I'm not on my show. There's plenty of YouTubers that is going to spread all that, and it's going to be weird. I'm not going to get into that space. I don't do that. But I think it is very, very interesting what we're going to witness. So this is the last panel of this issue today. Now, there is some panels that suggest that it was Monica Lynn's son. But that doesn't really make sense because Monica Lynn is black. T'Challa is black. So why would your kid turn out to be like this? And Monica Lynn is dead. Well, the timing said 26 years ago, which my math, according to my calculations, would have put this child being having birth somewhere around 1999. Monica Lynn might have, remember, Monica Lynn died in the Priest run. Subsequently, Priest is actually doing this run. It's only 6 issues. Look, I think they're trying to sell some books. If you just do a Black Panther run, I don't know how far it goes. You need to have the shock and awe, and this is what a lot of these comic books are landing now. We got some comments. I think it's Monica's son. Okay, let me start to the top. It says, morning BCL Imperial was interesting. Good morning. Bro playing hooky from work to get his pools. Bro, I'm not going to play hooky. I mean, I got a little leverage. I can leave when I want to. I mean, I'm only suggesting I'm going to tell my boss. I'll probably just get up and just walk out. Take a second. Don't forget to like and share the show. Yeah, appreciate it, Angel. Chillmonger, Cliffhanger, Trouser Soul, Light Skin, Black People, Panther is still coming out. You said that as if you knew this was coming out. What you know, Charles? What, bruh? White Panther has arrived. I think he's Monica's son. You see her being intimate with a white man before T'Challa comes through and pop the question. Yeah, seems like you're pretty privy to the comic book, or you've probably got an advanced copy. I mean, when I say advanced copy, I mean some of y'all shop owners, y'all cool with, y'all can go in there and get the books on Monday. I get it. See, that's what happens. See, some of y'all like, well, how do y'all get these? How do y'all get these advanced copies? Once you relationship build with your shop owners, they'll probably let you just get it on Monday, cause like they don't care. So listen, go and pick up this book. If it is indeed 616, I'd say still go pick it up. You're going to have some white fanboys that's going to lean in on this, and they're going to go and pick this book up. Especially the really, really conservative far-right comic book fans, they're going to go buy this book because to them, a lot of their characters are being replaced by black people. Think about the psyche of this. And now, wow, we get to replace a historical black character that black people love and hold dear. So there might be some noise in their world surrounding this character. I'm going to pick up two copies. I'm pretty sure if a bunch of people go and pick up this book, they're going to make a second printing with his picture on the cover. This is probably the hottest book since those, and that's saying a lot because we haven't had a hot book from Black Panther in a while. Like the Ultimate Black Panther run is cool. There's been no complaints, but there's also not been a whole lot of noise surrounding it. This is going to make the noise. Now it's going to be probably a lot of negative noise, but then let's keep it a buck. I mean, are we going to say this is White Panther? Because if it's T'Challa's son, he's black too. What do you do? You know, y'all was real quick when Barack Obama became president. He got a whole white mama sitting up there, just like T'Challa. Black Panther. Obama's dad is black, African, and his mama's white. But y'all was, he's black. That's the blackest black president in the world. And now T'Challa has a son with a white woman potentially, and now all of a sudden he ain't black. What are we doing? I'm just trying to figure out what's black and what's white according to black people. Couple of like a month or two ago, some of y'all know this, some of y'all don't. It was Negroes. It was Negroes on TikTok talking some gingers are black people now. Had a whole bunch of redhead white people on the internet talking about something. Oh, I'm black now. That's what's up. I need to go and pay my child support. Cracking jokes, and some of them really try to ingratiate themselves with that. But we're really in this identity politics world. Really, really heavy. You can be what you want to be. I can walk out. I can go and stand in my garage and say I'm a car, and you have to call me a car now. And if you don't, you're being insensitive. We're in a different time, bro. But this is going to be a short video. Definitely going to pick this up. Gave you guys some spoilers. Hold on one second. What's this right here? Got another incoming. Oh Lord. Man, go pick this up. This is gonna be a good book. Yeah, man. And I don't know who this cat here, bottom far left. He looks light skinned with like dreads or some type of hairstyle, but that could be him too, or I could be wrong. That could be somebody else. But this also could be a future story. It was only an amount. I also don't think they're gonna kill off T'Challa for good. for good, I think this is going to be something where everybody thinks he's dead and he's going to come back at the end. My thing is this, man. I don't know why people are shocked at Priest for being a part of this. Again, go read the Priest run, right? He did a lot. He took a lot of liberties with T'Challa that were silly, that were zany, that were outrageous. But it still was a dope run, and nobody cried. And so now I don't want to hear a bunch of fanboys talking about someone, Priest don't know how to write this character. I never liked it. Man, shut up. Y'all was all over that run. That was the reason why some of y'all old heads got into Black Panther. Because keep it a buck. Before that, you just had the Kirby run, and most of y'all didn't mess with jungle action like that. Walking around in huts, women half dressed, men half dressed, y'all wasn't into that. It wasn't until the glow up with the Priest that everybody wanted to jump on the wagon. I said what I said. I never was a Black Panther fan like that back in the day because I just didn't read his books. I didn't understand. Is just some dude walking around in what was just a suit? I mean, what's going on? It wasn't until the Black Panther movie that I actually started reading his books. I had to go back and read that Priest run. I remember when the Priest run came out in the 90s. I was reading Spider-Man. Come on. So obviously a lot of things have changed now. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Priest has always just written Black Panther in a way that everybody was just going to love. Come on, man. That's just come on. I think Priest is a dope writer. I think he did Black Panther justice. But I'm going to be honest with you. If the Priest run would have came out today, y'all motherfuckers would have tried to hang the man because he wouldn't have kept it this, that, and the third. So I just want to get that out there, bro, because I think we forget the standard that the fanboys have set for T'Challa. He's got to be invincible. He's basically everything of the Hudlin run and some. And that wasn't always the case with the Priest run. But again, 2 dope runs. You should go buy those books. Support the character. You know we always bought that. The question I have for you guys is, are you guys going to go buy this book? Let's go back to some of the comments. I think it's Monica's son. Blah, blah, blah. I read that. That one per store variant is the best book. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I saw I saw this book a couple of months ago, and I was like, okay, another Black Panther book. It's a mini. So that means that tells you that they probably don't have a whole lot of faith with this thing taking off. But I will say this. You don't have to like the direction that this book is going, but guess what? They're going to sell some books. All right? They give you a cliffhanger. A lot of the biggest problems with a lot of these guys that are writing these comic books is that, dude, you got 5 issues or 6 issues to get us excited, get the hype train going, and you want to wait to issue 4 for the big reveal or the cliffhanger or the energy to heat up. And like, people have fallen off. I should have, listen, by the 3rd page, 4th, 5th page, or at least by the 1st issue, I should be like, oh snap, let me go pre-order issue number 2. Oh crap, let me turn around, go to my other LCS and try to grab some more copies. It's got to be, listen, 5-issue, if you think about it, 5-issue minis should be the best kind of stories. They basically should be the trades. You should be able to compress a bunch of stuff while the pacing has to be right into one book to where it's a bunch of hot things going on, world building, world changing things. They should be a little bit more exclusive. And I don't, and I know, and I'll say this because John Jennings made this public, but John Jennings, is in our Black Comic Lore space. And he said, Marvel doesn't really market for comic books. Their biggest thing right now is leasing out the IPs. That's where all the money is at. And so I think they got a couple editors and guys in these comic book studios, but I don't really think they put their foot in a lot of these things. I think they put their foot in trying to license out their IPs for these shirts and for the movies and for toys and all this. That's where the money is at. When they spread it out through different line items of business. And so it's smart, but I think sometimes these comic books do fall short. They could be better. I wish they had better editors to put their foot in it. But you got two of the best, Joe and Priest. I mean, hey, we did say the same thing for the. I remember, what's the dude that came out that Paul always says, the name we won't say on this. John Ridley. Oh, everybody was excited for the Ridley run before it came out because he has a history, resume of doing great stuff. So it was interesting to see what he did. I didn't have an issue with that run. I know that at the time that Tozen booked $1,000+ in a 9.8, the one for 25. That's good. That's good for the community. That's good for what we're doing. It might not be good if you are just only a Black Panther fan, but for the collectors, oh, that was huge. People flipping books left and right. That book now isn't worth as much because they're not going to do anything with Tozen. All right, let me go back. I'm going down a horrible rabbit hole. Now I'm starting to think that the race swapping was long-term. Charles says long-term organized from the big wigs above just to get to this point to be able to stand in place of Black identity. Let me read that one more time. Charles says, now I'm starting to think that race swapping was long-term organized from the big wigs above just to get to this point to be able to stand in places of Black identity. That's not a horrible hypothesis, but I don't think that it really benefits. I don't think white folks go bonkers to replace Black characters like that. And I might sound like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. They always try to take our stuff. But listen, let's go back to Tarzan in Africa. Let's go back to some of those Golden Age comic books. They had white faces. They had the game hunters on those covers. Some of y'all who know how to use Google, go Google Jungle Action before T'Challa. There was a couple of issues that came out that had nothing to do with Wakanda. It was a white dude. It was a white dude swinging from a rope. Those jungle comics, it was a bunch of filled with a bunch of white dudes in there that were heroes and superheroes. Even girls. Phantom Lady was in the jungle a couple of times. Let me grab this drink. So from a historical standpoint, they was doing that in comic books before we were doing it in comic books. Because we just weren't printing things like that. In the 30s and 40s comic strips. Not that there was a ton of white folks in, it's not based off of real, Tarzan is not based off of an actual person named Tarzan. But then again, if I Google, maybe there's some information out there. But standing on Black identities, they got so many white characters. There's no point of it. I think they know that this is going to rile up the Black Panther fans, but I think for them, I think Marvel looks at this as good trouble. We're going to sell some books. We're going to get some people talking. We're going to get some people in the stores. Now, there's going to be some YouTubers. There's going to be some people on social media that says, I'm not buying this. Y'all shouldn't buy this. This is not what we're about. Excess, this is that and the third. But, I don't know. I don't know what this is going to look like. So I'm going to go buy it. I wasn't going to buy this book just because it doesn't seem like nothing was going on. But then when I seen this, I said, oh, yeah, I am. But look, it's FOMO. Look what they got me to do. This wasn't even on my radar today. And I'm a Black Panther fan. I'm not a Black Panther guy, but I'm a Black Panther fan. I'll buy his books when he's doing something. But yeah, let's see what we got. Morning BCL, Imperial. What's interesting? I went all the way back. Doesn't matter. Anybody? Wait, what? So Chillmonger says, doesn't matter. Let me run a commercial, man. I got a phone call. Let me run a commercial. Might be an emergency. Let me run a commercial.
When you go to an art museum and you see pictures on the wall, what do you think? I can tell you that a picture cannot audibly speak anything. Yet you will be challenged to find something, however, that doesn't speak louder. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. And that is how I justify buying Black books.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Sometimes I get phone calls. Y'all know I'm on my way to work, so this is kind of what happens. The morning show. Things happen. Go back to the comments. Can y'all hear me good? Let me know in the comments if y'all can hear me. So Chillmonger says, doesn't matter. Anybody can be critical of this comic regardless of writer. Yeah, and Charles says, yeah, but that's the point. White people don't come from the jungle. It's insert fantasy. Insert fantasy? I guess. I don't see a whole lot of white folks out here saying, I want to be in the jungle. I want to be the king of Wakanda. I want to be a king of an African nation. I don't see it. I think at a time before Black Panther or a little bit after Black Panther was out, there was white folks out here saying it. I just don't see black. I think white folks will do that out of spite, but I don't think organically white people are like, oh, I want to be in Africa, be a ruler. I don't see it. I didn't pull this. I read T'Challa dies. Yeah, I mean, I know some people aren't about this life. They wouldn't go buy it. Hard pass for them. So if y'all can still hear me, please let me know in the comments because I want to make sure I'm good. Oh, Dion is here. All right, add this.
Yo,
what's good, D?
Man, straight from the bed, bro.
Man, it's going down, man. Remember I hit you up last night? I was like, we got to do a show, man. We got to talk about it.
I see you in here, man. I see you in here. You going over the panels, huh?
On over the panels. Get to your shops. Grab this book. Because guess what? I don't know enough. This could legit be 616. You know, it's being pushed like it's 616. They might be killing him off officially this time. Now, I gotta pull up the comic book. And not that it matters, but T'Challa has died in 616 twice. Thanos killed him with the snap, which everybody knows that because you know Thanos snap. It's like 1991. But then he also died in I think Avengers 165, 197. I'm gonna go on Facebook and find that panel. But that he's died before. But guess what? That same issue he was resurrected. Iron Man died. Only person that didn't die that day was Thor and that's when they fought. Oh God, they fought that one guy. He was on the Guardians of the Galaxy. His name.
Guardians of the Galaxy, huh?
He was with the Guardians of the Galaxy. He was like Mr. Miracle. He had all the powers in the world. Like he was like a Beyonder type person.
Like Adam Warlock?
Not Adam Warlock.
No.
Oh, God.
I don't know.
I'll find it and make a post it up. You guys will see it later today. I posted it before, but if they kill him off, it won't be the first time. Now, a lot of people will tell you that he's never died. Especially like people were saying that after the recast. No, he's died in 616. That twice, to my knowledge. And the swordsman almost killed him. I want to say I don't want to say Imperial. He almost killed him a couple years ago. He came very, very close. And I can show that panel too. I was shocked. Let me see. So tell me a little bit about your thoughts on what you know about this run. How do you feel if they kill off T'Challa, replace him with his biracial son? Let's keep it a buck. A lot of people call him white, but I'm like, yes, he has straight hair, brown, brunette hair or whatever, but his daddy's black, mommy's white. Y'all, and Obama's dad was black, his mommy was white. Y'all was calling him black.
Oh man, so say it ain't so. T'Challa with the snow bunnies.
Yeah, T'Challa with the
snow bunnies. Yo, Dr. Umar gonna have a field day with this joint, yo.
You better hope nobody sends this to Dr. Umar. Because Dr. Umar don't read no comic books, so the first thing he gonna say is, see how Marvel trying to do our black man? I'm like, yeah, bro, they did him back like this back during the Hudlin run, bro.
Yeah, I mean, this is an alternative run, right? I mean, it's not 616 or whatever.
I don't know. They trying to. People are talking about it like it's 616. We'll have to
man. You know how they do it. Like, oh, it's canon, and it's not canon, or it gets not. I mean, what's really canon anymore anyway? You know what I mean? Like nothing lasts
your
forever.
Boy Charles says, "Nah, bruh, that was straight blonde hair in that panel out here, looking like Century."
Dang! So the king got recessive genes. Man.
So what we're saying is, No matter what your blood says you are, if your hair's straight, you can't be black. Come on, Charles, keep me straight. Keep me honest, bro. I'm not saying you lying, but I think black people, we tend to recertify what black is almost every damn day. We telling redhead Irish people that they're black. You remember that trend that came out a couple weeks ago?
Yeah,
Gingers are black, Piccolo's black, but for some odd reason, we didn't want to claim Rachel Dolezal as black. She walking around here working for the NAACP whole nine. So I'm just trying to figure out what black is now. Apparently, I'm not black enough. I'm not pushing back on you, Charles. I'm just trying to figure out. Every time I look up, everybody got a definition of what black is, because when Obama came in office, he was black. His kids was black. Whole nine, wife is black. So I'm just, nobody want to talk about that in the comment section though.
Look, I mean, are you transracial? Are you transcultural? You could be anything to anyone you want nowadays. You know what I mean? You could be so. I don't know, man. I mean, this seems like he definitely looks like he's taking on his mom's side there, a bit.
I think what we're gonna find out though is it's not his son. I think we're gonna find out. They're gonna bring out Maury. And they're gonna be like, "You are not the father." And then people are gonna, and I'm gonna tell you the first thing people are gonna say. They're gonna say, instead of y'all, now, quite honestly, and this is probably an area that I shouldn't go, but I'm gonna go anyway. You do know, when this is all said and done, regardless if it's his son or not, what are black people gonna be the primary thing we're gonna say? You got a bastardized son, just like you did to T'Challa's son in the movie. Why can't you show a married father with a wife, which is gonna bring in who? What woman is that gonna bring up?
Storm.
So you took T'Challa away from Storm. He out here having slinky links or whatever, and he got baby mamas. Now you're absolutely right. That is something that would be definitely optically we could see. I can't argue with what that looks like.
Unless he's got little TJ in Haiti, right?
He pops up in the comments.
Rises up. So now I'm the real king.
I'm the real dad.
I'm the real king of Wakanda. And then you got to fight for the throne. Oh man, black versus white for Wakanda.
But watch this. I'm gonna go someplace where nobody wants to go. If you're mad that this is a side chick, I don't care if it's Monica Lynn, White. I don't care if it's Storm. But if you mad that he having children on the side and shows black men in a horrible light, then I want you to use that same energy with some of these hip hoppers and rappers that degrade black women, degrade the black men, and put out murder music. Because I'm not trying to say it starts with them, but they're also helping to perpetuate a stereotype. And we be dancing, bobbing our head to that when they out here talking about, oh, I'm going to smash this chick and I'm going to leave her on our way to work. But then when on our way to the comic book shop, we ain't got a problem with that. But then we go pick up that book and we see it with our super hyper fantasy black king that we have identified with. And then we see him do it. And then all of a sudden we're outraged. That says a lot about us.
Hirsch,
it's okay in real life, but it ain't okay with our super hyper fantasy. Ain't nobody gonna comment on that.
Man,
we don't want to do that.
What for man, you know the truth. The only people that care about this is middle-aged black men who read comic books.
Don't say that.
That's the truth.
Don't say that.
Ain't no one care about us, man.
I tell you one thing. I bet you ain't nobody at DreamCon care about it. I bet you ain't nobody at DreamCon. Go ask the Wemos that do that primarily focus on Japanese and white pop culture. We gotta cut the commercial. Go ask them if they care. They don't. Now.
We're going with the cosplay conversation.
Let's not go. We're gonna do a whole day for that.
That's a whole day. Okay.
We'll have to have a whole day for that. But listen, I hope the book does well. I hope it's a great story. But I know some people are like, well, how do you hope it's going to great story? It's already starting off wrong. He's got a side chick pregnant and with some child we ain't never seen before. This is a mess. I get all that.
And they promoted it with Storm. Like they were supposed to be married. It was supposed to be like a what if, like if Storm and T'Challa stayed married, right? That's what most of the promo images were.
Yeah.
In the beginning. Yeah. And then
I don't know. I really don't know. Listen.
What?
Even the guy that sent me these previews, I can't give his name because I didn't ask him. I didn't tell him I was going to share these. So I want to put his name out there. He really doesn't understand what's going on. He's a comic head. He's like, man, I really don't know. Like, I see Monica Lynn, but the kid looks white, so that doesn't make any sense. Like, white. He don't look biracial. He look white. So, like,
I mean, ultimately, if we buy the next issue, we're interested. The writer did their job, so.
And you're gonna tell me the guy that y'all praise and worship and devote your priest and the priest run is great. You gonna turn your back on him now? If you are, you are. But I'm just saying, most people don't even bro. A lot of people will just roll their eyes and just say Herschel always be saying some wild stuff. But bro, go try to have a conversation about T'Challa before the priest run. Watch how much engagement you get. There's nobody wants to talk about that. You only gonna get priest run on up conversations. And so I say all that to say this, man. Like, please don't attack priest. Please don't attack priest because y'all that same energy wasn't used since 1998. With him dressing T'Challa up as Batman. With him having a futuristic somebody just said future. With him had a futuristic Black Panther that was silly and goofy, that was a cornball, that was basically Carlton from the Fresh Prince. Nobody we one thing that I've noticed about our community, not just the Black Panther community, but our community, we only want to count the W's. We don't want to count the L's. We don't want to count the silly things that happen. Superman, Batman have a way bigger fan base than Black Panther. And they've taken some of the biggest L's. I watched Joker destroy Superman. Like knock him out with like that gun that has the boxing glove.
Right.
Like writing is writing. So
I mean, I don't know, man. I think Priest is gonna be okay, dude. I mean, this same community, it's not as big as the Snyder Army to get the Snyder cut, and it ain't like the racist trolls who DM'd the Star Wars actresses. So I think Priest is gonna be all right, dude. He's gonna be okay. It's a gimmick. It's a gimmick to sell comic books. CS3 said. You know what I mean? So
Charles says Malcolm X, Obama, Bob Marley, yeah, they light skinned, but because they look more black socially, they're accepted as black by default because of looks. Sure. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if Barack Obama would have had straight hair, let's keep it a buck because we're talking about a biracial Black Panther here. I want to keep that at the forefront because everybody keeps saying white Black Panther. But if he had like that weird like afro, like sometimes white people have that. Some white folks have a kinky straight mix, like Bob Ross. Remember the painter? You might be a little too young.
Who?
Bob Ross. Remember the painter?
Oh yeah. Bob Ross. Yeah.
Bob Ross kind of had that kinky straight hair mix. He had that fro. If he would have had that type of texture, Black folks probably would have. Hair decides a lot of things for a lot of people. And that hair would have really moved would have changed the dynamics of this conversation a little bit. If Obama would have had straight hair, a lot of Black people wouldn't have jumped on the bandwagon as quick. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Absolutely
I mean,
not.
this is the first appearance of White Panther, so, and if his mom is ginger, then he's good. He's good to go.
So on his head.
He's good. If his mom redhead, we got Bino Panther, first appearance.
How prominent? Let's see. The truth is, comics have the trick to. So Charles said, the truth is, comics have to trick you to get the book. That's just a fact. It's sad, but that's the number one tactic: trick you to get the dollar. And as long as you spend the money, they're happy. I mean, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, depending on who the IP is. I don't know why they feel like they have to do this with Black Panther to get a story, but I definitely think they've been watching social media. Because ain't nobody in a bubble says organically this is what we're gonna do to this character. They have to understand the sentiments of the fandom, where the fandom is going. What would rattle the fandom enough to where they'll be angry, but they will also we can bake them in for the next 6 months or whatever, how long it's gonna take. I'm pretty sure this comes out once a month to go and buy the book.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Priest is self-aware. I mean, he had to do something different to come back. I mean, why would he come back? You know, he's got, you know, it's like you're a Hall of Fame player. You played your great seasons. You won your championships. Now, why would you come back to the game but to do something different? Switch your position, switch the team up. He's just trying to, you know, probably just want to try something out.
So, Brotman to you says, so now it's supposed to be all right because he's white. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I haven't read the book. I'm just showing y'all the panels, and we're all speculating, unless y'all read it. If y'all read it, you understand it page for page. I don't think there's enough details in issue 1 from my source who actually read and gave me this to even throw up a heads or tails on this. A legit heads or tails. All I do know is this the first appearance of this character, Clemente or something like that. I'm going to go buy 2. I know this much. At 10 o'clock sharp, I'll be at my LCS to buy 2 copies.
You know what? By issue 2, he's probably gonna put Starbucks in Wakanda, yo. By issue 2,
damn.
Starbucks in Wakanda.
So Chillmonger says being a Priest fan doesn't make you a devout believer. You can dislike his writing and doesn't mean you turn your back. Sure, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't move like that. A lot of people move like, oh, you do one bad thing, I hate your guts, I'm gonna send my army against you. We see that all the time. Now, is that what's gonna happen with Priest? Probably not. But stranger things have happened. See what's it. Charles says, so now my question is, was the Priest idea or did this come from the editorial above as a mandate? So that's on a lot of people's mind. I think a lot of people want to give Priest a pass and say Priest would never think of doing such things. He's a black man. He gave us Black Panther. This was not his idea. I think it might have been a little bit of both. Because when he heard this idea, he could have said, nah, this ain't me. He don't need. Priest does not need to write this comic book. As a matter of fact, he hasn't written this comic book in over a decade. Over a decade. Yeah. Because Hudlin, I think, came in 2005, maybe I'm wrong.
It's been a minute.
So he don't have to write this book. So when whoever brought this to the table and wherever it got signed off on, yeah. We know he's here now.
He did Red Lion in DC, and then he did another spoof character in I think Valiant. Shout out to Rich for his last live stream. Red Lions, I like Red Lion. It's pretty fun, but I mean, this could be an instance. You know, he just switching it up.
Speaking of Priest, he's a part of the Epiphany Engine and Dennis Cowan, which is crazy.
Wait, Priest is part of the Epiphany Engine.
Yeah, because you know when I asked, when the Black Comic Book Lords asked for the book to be produced, and Tony Couture organized everybody, it was all right. They'll probably grab. In my mind, you guys will probably grab like maybe 10 or 15 publishers. It turned into this big thing. Now, granted, we still waiting on the book, but it turned into a bigger thing. Other people got involved. You can actually go to the Epiphany Engine Kickstarter, scroll all the way down to the bottom because that's where you'll find Priest and Hudlin. But they are part of the Kickstarter package. I can't really remember because it's been 2 years what they're doing, but they have dealings. I think maybe executive producer, maybe they're writing some stuff. I'm not sure, but they are also a part of it. So when this book comes out, bro, I'm gonna be glad, but it's definitely gonna be. Wow, the Black Comic Lords is attached to the Christopher Priest as far as work. So that's good. I think he even might be the editor or something like that. So now my question is, okay, we wrote that. Bob Ross admitted that he straightened his hair. That wasn't natural. Okay, cool. Man, the whole Ginger is black thing is just hilarious. It's definitely just a trolling joke because Ginger is on anagram for black folks. Yeah, the whole Ginger thing is black. Was started by a black woman, and because we have to protect black women, we can't say anything, right? See, that's another thing. see how that folds in itself. The whole thing is weird.
Oh
Crazy
man.
looking black woman said that on TikTok, and gingers ran with it and some of them really said, "Okay, I'm black. I'm accepted," because they feel like they're outcast in the white race. But I'm not ginger. I'm not
Man.
white. I kind of. So Kendrick did a lot of music for the first Black Panther movie soundtrack. Which white rapper are they gonna get for the White Panther movie soundtrack? Is it gonna be Eminem or someone else?
It's definitely gonna be Eminem, and I'm gonna say, I mean, what white rappers out there right now? I'm not up to date.
I'm not up to date on none of that stuff either.
It ain't gonna be MGK, that's for sure. Machine Gun Kelly, he don't rap no more.
The first person that might even be, might be Bucky. But bro, if they do that, man, if they do that before we get a recast, oh my god,
Live action White Wolf.
Just even if he just shows up in a Disney Plus commercial,
with the
even
vibranium
if he
suit.
shows up, nah, ain't no more What If. They canceled What If series, which I think is dumb. I think the animation on it was trash. I think it should have been like X-Men 97 animation, but no, that's too much like right. They rather spend millions of dollars to do that 3D animation versus just doing good stuff. But that's a conversation for another day. But yeah, look, all in all, we ain't got that much to talk about. We just showing you that yes, he's a white boy, or a biracial, or he's black. I don't know where this is gonna land. You know how black people are. Some days we wake up and we put a wig on our head. We want to be white. You know, we grab a Dragon Ball. We want to be Dragon Ball Z. We change. We change up so much, man.
Is the suit? Is his suit gonna be white? That's gonna be. Is he changed? No, his suit is
white? Is a derivative of the Cold Tiger that he originally was supposed to look like back in the 60s.
Okay, so you got the Cold Tiger suit. Okay.
I think it is from the future. So,
man, he should have had an all white suit with the blue eyes.
But guess what? Azari, I believe, is from the future too, if I'm not mistaken. And people run with that. So we'll see what happens.
So I mean, can we cosplay as him? Is it or can we get other white people to cosplay Black Panther?
Listen, listen. I need to. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. I'm gonna have to get off because somebody's gonna jump through this computer and get mad. Who out there cosplaying as original black characters? Black people aren't even cosplaying as original black characters like that. You have Black Panther Storm, Static Shock, Frozone, but like, who out there really like doing that? Guess what? There's more black people cosplaying as Japanese and white characters than actual black characters. And there's no white people cosplaying as black characters because they don't want to be called racist or insensitive.
You might find a Miles, maybe one here or there. You
might find a Miles.
Yeah.
But also white folks got enough characters to where they don't even think to cosplay as us.
Yep. That's true.
But nobody wants to talk about that. And that's why I'd be like, man, we need to start cosplaying as us more. Because who in the hell gonna do it? Now people say, oh, we gotta support us because if we don't support us, who else is gonna support us? Well, hell, if we don't cosplay as our characters, who in the hell gonna cosplay as our characters? Because we don't have a big interest in that at all. Because we want the likes and the shares. We don't want to be different. I'm like, man, T'Challa, Storm, and Static and Frozo. I mean, that's cool, but damn, don't we got 300-400 more other characters sitting out there? But that's the cosplay video, man, for another day. See, get quiet.
I tell you what, you're not gonna run into a white man as Sam Wilson, Captain America.
You're not gonna run into a Falcon,
right?
Captain America. You're not even gonna run into a white Captain America. That's why I say people talk about, oh, white people trying to take our stuff. Trying to take what? Trying to take who? They've been stopped trying to take stuff from black.
And they see a black guy in Green Lantern, you're like, oh, you John Stewart? He's like, I'm
Hal Jordan.
I'm Hal Jordan.
Get out of my face. What are you? Don't insult me.
Don't insult me. I'm Hal Jordan. Okay.
Yeah. Like we listen, we gotta celebrate. Let's start celebrating us the way whites and Japanese folks celebrate themselves. Once we start doing that, then maybe they'll say, "Oh, let's come over and do that." If I'm lying, come, let's argue. Let's have discourse. And I know everybody. Well, I know people like, I'm not a cosplayer. That's not really my thing. Cool, but go to DreamCon. DreamCon, I think is listen. I want to say this because somebody's gonna miss it. I think DreamCon is awesome. There should be a space for fans like that. But we don't have anything like that for black folks with black characters. We don't have anything at scale. Not even close. So you have to ask yourself, if DreamCon is full of I don't know, 99.9% black folks, but the genre that they're celebrating is Japanese and white, and there's not even nothing close to that for anything else, like Black Geek Con, Dragon Con is not like that. But Dragon Con and MomoCon is for animation, anime and stuff. There's really nothing for black comics. There used to be a Wakanda Con in Chicago, but that was like right after the Black Panther movie, and it didn't really have much to do with comic books. It had to do mostly with the Wakanda aesthetic and Afrofuturism. They just gave it a label, Wakanda Con. Go Google it.
Yeah, I think DreamCon did a good job of trying to have, like, I see Concrete was there, Rodney Barnes was there, so they did have a, Joe Morgan said Impound Comics was at DreamCon, so they got a presence there somewhat.
But guess what? Here's the thing. Go look at the DreamCon flyers. Rodney Barnes was the only comic book person on there. Not Freestyle Comics. What's the Acolyte? Concrete Comics was there.
Yeah.
He said he sold out 1,500 copies. You can still turn $1 over there, but when you think of DreamCon, you do not think of comic books.
Yeah.
You think of anime. Like, again, it should be doing what it's doing, but we also should have a balance. There should be something to scale, sitting someplace else for black comic heads, but there's just not enough of us.
Man, you want a convention with just 10 of us showing up? I mean,
yeah, that's basically what's going to happen. Or even just, you have comic book convention, you have MegaCon, which is here in Orlando.
Yeah.
There's nobody. I didn't see not one black person behind the booth. Not one. I walked everywhere. I saw black people there, but they had no black booths. I know EBOC, which is East Coast Black Age of Comics. I know Motor City Black Age of Comics. And I believe, I just interviewed a guy who does Motor City. I think he said his biggest year was like 500 people. There was probably 8,000 people. Probably was argue maybe more like 4 or 5.
So my question is it DreamCon's fault? Who's responsible? Is it the attendees or DreamCon?
No. Tony Weaver attended now, bro. I think DreamCon is beyond criticism. I don't know what that is. But Tony Weaver, if you look at any Tony Weaver's videos, what's behind him? Straight anime. He pushes for black representation in anime. He wants people to accept black people being race swapped as Japanese characters. The temporary representation thing. He's for that. And he's also for original characters. But if you look behind Tony Weaver, what's behind him in all these videos that he does, and again, he's necessary. He should be there talking about it. But there is no black people that say, hey, we got these black characters. Here's Concrete. Here's Rodney Barnes. They're gonna be coming to this con. You guys should come out. And there's thousands of people there for black original characters, black original art.
I mean,
Black Priest. You got Rodney Barnes. You got Reginald Hutland. You got Dennis Cowan there signing books, doing commissions. That doesn't exist.
I mean, the convention wasn't built on that, man. It was built on RCDC World, skits, anime, streaming. What the young kids are into.
No. I'm not talking about what RDC did more. Again, they should be doing DreamCon. I'm just saying there should be a counterbalance for this other fandom. We have to go to their conventions to sell our books. We have to go to their conventions to be seen because they have the biggest audience. Instead of building our own convention scene and growing it to have a bigger audience. Now, people have tried, and AtlanticCon is going to do the second year. But again, AtlanticCon is not just strictly comic books and superhero fandom. It's not like superhero hype or superhero con that's in North Carolina. It is literally kind of black pop culture con. And again, that's another brand that should be doing what it's doing. but somebody's got to create, like, cough, cough, a Black Comic Lords Con and grow it from maybe 200-300 people to a couple thousand. That's what we need. We need that. But here's the problem. Is there enough bodies to actually show up and attend something like that?
Correct.
Probably not. And that's what's sad. But then there's tons of bodies that would catch a flight and go and celebrate a culture that doesn't celebrate them back like that. Come on, bro. Let's look at the you're sitting in the back of the bus with anime and white pop culture at these MomoCons and DreamCon. The very thing that you're celebrating isn't celebrating you back. You're having to go to self-insert yourself into the Dragon Ball Z world, into the One Piece world as a dominant character. Come on, am I lying? You're going there to celebrate somebody that ain't really celebrating you like you celebrating them. And it wasn't designed for us, granted, and we want to ingratiate ourselves with that stuff. Cool, but there ought to be a place and a platform for us to be able to say, these people got us at the front of the bus, got us in the front of the magazine, the front of the comics. We got plenty of movies and TV shows. This is what we're being produced. We got Black billionaires and the whole nine. Even the RDC team said, we created DreamCon, but we don't run DreamCon. They got their own people. We're the figureheads for that. He even said on the last live I sent you. So again, nobody's knocking DreamCon. It should do what it's doing because there's fans for that. You can't hate on them for having their fans. But we ain't got fans on the other side like that who's going to go in droves. Which really makes me think. It just makes me wonder, like, wow, we don't have Black people interested in just Black stuff like that to scale with DreamCon. And we have no brand that could push that and get people to come out. They brought Megan Thee Stallion out there. Who could a Black comic hit brand out? We should have, when Chadwick Boseman was alive, there should have been a con created. This is before Black Comic Lords, mind you. There should have been a con created where Chadwick Boseman was at while he still was alive. Michael B. Jordan, Wesley Snipes, all these Black creators. Remember Michael J. White? Michael J. White should be everybody. Why wasn't he at a con? For Black heroes and Black comics and stuff like that. Because that at the time it was big. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe Herschel being Herschel is tripping.
Nah, I mean, I get the sentiment. You know what I'm saying? You want definitely more space where Black culture is celebrated instead of just, white and anime culture. But I mean, you're right. It's a sense of just, is there enough people to support that? And also just getting these IPs in the mainstream. It's just what's accessible. I can watch animes everywhere. I can watch anime. I was at Amtrak, and the instructions on how to board the train was an anime. I mean, I'm not even kidding you, dude. I'm like, is that manga art? Like and there's a Black guy who was a train conductor too. That was funny. But listen, it's just mainstream, man. It's like
and that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to stop anime and manga. I'm not trying to stop DreamCon. But I'm essentially asking myself as a Black man, when white people want to go and have fun, they go to white-based events where there's Black people there. When Japanese folks want to get their thing off, they have places to go. Where's the DreamCon for white and Asian people to celebrate Black culture? I'm going to say that again. DreamCon right now is really not to celebrate, it's to celebrate Black inserted culture, but the stuff that they're celebrating really doesn't really have us in mind like that. We are the predominant participants and the predominant people that's walking around. But the very things that we're buying, the very things that are in our videos, Tony Weaver, are not Black represented, bro. They're not. Those Momo characters do not look like us. So essentially, we're going to help and promote and to celebrate someone else's culture. Great. But the problem is we don't have another place. We don't have an alternative that is designed just for us.
Yeah, I mean, that's powerful, bro. Man. That's free marketing.
That's a problem. There's nothing.
That's validation.
It's validation. It's everything. It's something that you're not going to hear. Nobody's going to go on social media and talk about this because they're going to get attacked. They're going to get, well, why can't we just like what we like? That's great that you like that, but then where's your counterbalance? So it's just like me getting up and eating Italian food every day. That means that, and then the soul food restaurants is going out of business. Well, Italian food's just better. Well, then that means that I need to go and outsource to get fed from people who don't look like me, and their food was not even made with me in mind. And the very people that look like me that create food that I primarily like, we lead them. We just, but I don't really do that. It's just weird. White folks don't have spaces to go to celebrate Black culture, but Black folks have plenty of places to go to celebrate white culture. I don't get it.
The only thing I know, there is a little trend in Japan of Japanese girls trying to act Black, tanning their
I've
skin.
seen the Black dudes walking around with blacks in their mouths, talking about some gang. They doing these little Black hip hop parties.
That's about it.
The very. But you know what? The funny thing is, we're celebrating their heroes, the best of them. They're celebrating the hood, the gang, the criminal element of us.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. I ain't trying to be Umar Johnson. I ain't trying to be no Hotep, bro. I'm just keeping it a buck.
You a Hotep hero for real, man.
I'm a Hotep Heroes this morning. Shout out to Hotep Heroes, man. Hotep Heroes is sitting someplace with his mask off, wiping his face because he's crying, saying somebody gets it. I'm just saying, again, somebody's going to leave this live and say, this dude always be getting on anime and manga. I'm not getting on them. They should exist. Black people should celebrate them. But we ain't got no other sports we can play too that's made for us. Yeah. We ain't got no other cons that's made just for us. Well, there is other cons, man. There is Urban Con in Mississippi. But are they to scale with a Dream Con? That means that more Black people desire to go to these other functions than they desire to come to our stuff. Well, they don't market it. I ain't see a whole bunch of marketing for DreamCon where I was at on my timeline. Look,
I mean, it's who started it too. You know, they already had a built-in fan base,
and they did it right.
They did it
right.
Yeah.
They took their brand to the next level. When we gonna do that?
Yeah. And I mean, shout out to them. They had a manga too that was nominated for an award just with Ronnie Barnes last year, I think, for best new title or something. But yeah, I mean, was it MD Johnny says the markets are not in our control.
The markets are not in
our control.
Go check out the RDC World. They took the market. They took somebody else's market, remixed it, applied it, and kind of sort of made it their own little thing.
Yeah, look at Kai Cenat with the Streamer University. He turned down Netflix. He turned down Amazon Prime. He turned down all these things for ownership for his own show, and it is what it is right now. So
every time we talk about ownership, though, it goes left. Every time we talk about black billionaires, it goes left because it's still always going. I'm not saying that's what you're saying, MD Jern, but it's always an excuse. It's always a barrier. But listen, one of the things that I've learned, I've only been on this planet 42 years. People make time for what's important. The people that got the tickets to fly to Houston, to go to this thing, great. They make time for it. The people that go to these small Black cons that are scattered out throughout the U.S., they make time. It's important. The people that won't pass, there's some people that feel like I got to go to every booth and support every Black creative. I don't do that. I want to support the stuff that's good. And a lot of people don't want to say that live and in public, but I support the Black stuff that I like. I don't just go by and give people sympathy money. I'll just give you the cash. You keep your book if I'm going to do that. If I go by and your cover grabs me, I'm going to pick up your book. I'm going to turn them pages. I see some action and the interiors is great. Probably going to buy that book. I can deal with bad writing, but I can't deal with bad art, aesthetics. That means I'm not going to pick that book up. And then you know what else I'm going to do? I'm not going to take that book home and put it up. I'm going to get on my little 10, 20 follower platform, whatever I got. If I got 87,000 people on Facebook, I'm going to say, hey, I just bought this book. It's pretty dope. Art is great. The story could have been a little bit. I'm going to give it a good, bad, and ugly. But you're going to know about it. I ain't going to keep it quiet. But hey, everybody moves differently, man. Some people complain. Some people move. Some people, I don't know. Or some people just have bastard children that beats them from the throne. They ain't T'Challa. So I don't know, man.
Oh,
Different
man.
things going on. Different
Different
going
things.
on.
Hey, you going to Atlanta Comic Con this year?
I'm gonna try to.
Okay.
It's in August. You going? I know you gonna go. It's right there.
Yeah, it's right. It's 20-minute drive for me, so I'll be there.
We done got on. DreamCon is not just an anime convention. There are so many examples to this. Yeah, we're not saying it's just an anime convention, but that's what it's primarily focused on. When people got mad at RDC World, they said this. The fan said that this is a black anime convention. This is what if they lean in. This is under the guise that they go on. There's other stuff that goes on there. They have concerts, they play sports, they play games, but the primary chief of all of that stuff that they do is anime and that manga stuff. And they should be doing it. They should be eating. But we also should have another space that does all that can get to that scale, hopefully down the road, some point, sometime. If that threshold isn't already expired for us to make it this far. Seeing as how there is no recast, which got a bunch of people into the room. Seeing as how they're doing so much funny stuff with T'Challa because he set the temperature for a lot of fans. You know, there's a lot of YouTubers that wouldn't even have a show right now without this guy. So now that he's being removed and they're doing funny stuff with his video game, he's being replaced, it's going to be a little difficult because we don't get the same energy for Black Lightning. We don't get the same energy for Miles. You know, we don't give the same energy for Black original characters. We don't. And it's
BP was an IP. No, you're right. I mean, we have Black people cosplaying as
so we gotta work twice as hard,
you know,
to get Black folks to want to do Black stuff in something that's Black themed for original Black characters. And if I'm lying, correct me, because a lot of these original Black characters that have just as good stuff, they do well at DreamCon, but they should also be able to do their own thing at a convention that is just centered around them. They should not have to go to Pizza Hut to get to eat the chicken wings. Pizza Hut does offer chicken wings, but that's not their chief thing. And I want to go to a Wingstop to sell my wings. I don't want to go to Pizza Hut to sell my wings. That's just me. But let me keep. I gotta go too. So we control the labor, but we are not organized from the bottom up. No, and some of us don't want to be organized. There's some people mad at me for talking about this. So we can't get organized. We struggle with that. With that.
I mean, you have Megan Thee Stallion. The main lure was anime. It's an anime party.
And
it's an anime party.
And she's already in anime.
Right. She's making an anime with the creator of Boondocks.
And guess what? When she cosplays as anime, you think she cosplays as Black characters? No. She cosplays as popular Japanese or whatever those Japanese, and she should. We should be getting Michael J. White. We should find some popular Black females, right? That, hey, I'll support your comic book. I'll cosplay as
I think Jeanette Monáe, she debuted her comic at BlurCon last year.
You got the wrestler girl that did Storm, and now everybody thinks she's the best actor.
Jade Cargill.
And even though her name is more like Jonah Cargill, who's Frenzy, she looks like her, but everybody wants Storm to be a bodybuilder and be 6'4". You know, I don't know. But anyways, I got to get out of here. If you're mad at me, make sure you still subscribe because I got some more content for you to be pissed at. But hey, don't be mad at me. I ain't the one that got T'Challa, a bastard son, coming out. So before you me, don't me, go Marvel. All right, go pick up that book today. I see y'all in the comic book shop. We out.
Peace.
Peace.